Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. This is episode 35 of the Canadian Geekcast, and today I am joined by Dennis.
Hello.
And Steph.
Hello. I love technology and computers.
It's the best. And I am your host, Steve. If this is your first episode, each week we get together to discuss everything from video games, television, film, everything in between. We're available pretty much everywhere podcasts can be found, including iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. And every Sunday we go live at 11 a.m. on Twitch and Mixer. And then we post the post show for podcast services every Wednesday, so you can catch it there if you don't follow us live. If you like what you hear, send us a review, share with friends, do everything with that. You can even send us an email and comments at Canadian Geekcast, geekcst@gmail.com, or tweet at us at Canadian Geek CST, and we may even read them on the show. So how are you guys doing today?
Good.
I'm exhausted. This has been a really busy week.
Yeah, it has.
I think for games and for film, really.
Yeah, and over the last 4 days, I guess we've been streaming 4 hours. So
yeah.
And on top of this, it's just I'm good for streaming for the rest of the year. But
yeah, so really before we get into the show, just to kind of catch people up, we went and did a watch along for the Game Awards, and then we did one for the Kind of Funny Showcase, and we're back doing this. And then kind of looking forward, we're doing one more show next week, and then kind of taking a bit of a holiday hiatus.
Yeah, we're hoping to maybe do a recording with some of our top games and things that we wanted to talk about from this year, but we'll see if we can get that together.
Yeah, kind of just do a roundup, a best of 2018 thing. All of us, all five of us, Josh and Matt included, we all have really diverse tastes in games and everything. So putting together a game of the show will probably be extremely hard. So
there would be a debate for sure.
A long-winded debate. So we might just do I don't know, our top 3 games or something like that, just to give shout outs and everything.
Yeah, Command and Conquer Mobile, right?
Game of the year. Honestly, have you guys played it? You get those green gems and everything. They're fantastic.
And the blue crystals. There's blue crystals.
Oh, the blue crystals, which you can pay for. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Matt loves it. I think that's what he's doing right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so unprofessional, just playing a game while we're doing a show.
A mobile game, I know.
Yeah.
So let's start the show off. So we got an audience question of the week. It was submitted by the Weasel.
Oh no, you did it.
You did it too now.
I'm assuming there's something behind this.
Oh, Matt did that the first time.
Oh, okay. Cool. At least I wasn't the only one. So his question was, with the release of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Eevee and its perceived success thus far, what other game series could benefit from an easier to learn / play version to help more people be introduced to the series? Any franchises come to mind, guys?
Yeah, when I kind of took this question not for current franchises, but maybe introduced to a franchise that hasn't been used as much in the last decade or so. And the first franchise that came to mind was Advance Wars, because I really need another Advance War in my life. And it's been, I don't know how long. I feel like the last time I played it was Game Boy Advance or something like that, one of the Nintendo handhelds.
Yeah.
I think there's a good way to do that for casual players, and and keep the people who love the series happy with it. That's my vote anyway.
Yeah. So my question, excuse my ignorance, I don't think I've ever played an Advance Wars game, or if I did as a kid, I don't really remember. What would be the barrier of entry?
Nothing really. The entry is just there's nothing current to play it on to get introduced to it. So it's a very strategy game, like Valkyrie Chronicles in a way, but or 2D. So yeah, I don't know what an Advance War looks like on the Switch, for example. But
Mhm.
so it was something I would definitely be before. So
If you are looking for a game kind of in that genre, look into a game called Into the Breach. I've heard that it's comparable in many ways.
Strategy game of the year, you mean?
yeah, won award.
Yeah. Steph, any suggestions for?
I mean, it's kind of tough because Pokemon, it's really not that complicated of a game, and I feel like it doesn't miss out a whole lot. You're just skipping the grind, if that makes
Right,
sense.
that's exactly what you're doing. Yeah.
Uh, um, Whereas like the games that I can think of that I'd like to introduce to more players, it revolves around how intricate it is. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh, like Civ 5 or like a Civilization game maybe
Yeah.
could get that treatment, but I'm like, but that's the whole point is figuring out like the economy and then like happiness. Like the whole point of the game is how many layers there are to it. And if you strip that down, I think that does a disservice to the whole franchise.
Hmm.
So I don't know, like I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't lose its heart by being a little bit more simple, and I can't really think of any. Actually, Kingdom Hearts. I could do without the grind in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like all of the encounters
Yeah.
and stuff, like if you could skip those,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Cool. For me, this question actually came up at a really great time. One series that I really do love, but kind of I don't particularly like its barrier to entry is the Dark Souls series.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could definitely. There's definitely a way you could do that with that one.
And I've started playing a game that I think is on its way to becoming like a accessible game to people who kind of want to play Souls type games, and that game is Ashen. Ashen just came out on Xbox and Xbox Game Pass and the Xbox Marketplace on PC. A few days ago, I started jumping in, and right off the get go, combat is exactly the same, except the difficulty is scaled back. I wouldn't say significantly, but it does feel like an easier game. Maybe I'm just used to the button layouts and the timing and patience, but it does feel like a game that's a little more accessible. Also, for people who look at Dark Souls and look at like the gothic setting and like the weird creatures and everything, they're like, I don't really like the world that they're building here. In Ashen, everything's like this beautiful, like geometric, minimalist style. So it's a lot easier to digest over Dark Souls. So I think that series needs some sort of game to help introduce people in because it is a fun game if you're down for some sort of challenge, just not the challenge that you want to just bang your head against the wall and give up immediately. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that again with the Dark Souls though, it was like known for being difficult.
Well, yeah, I mean, it got the phrase like "get good," right?
Yeah, and then every difficult game after that, it's like, oh, it's like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Celeste, it's platforming Dark Souls.
Hmm.
It's like you don't need to use Dark Souls as a synonym for hard game.
No, but Dark Souls definitely does have a particular
Yeah.
set of rules within it. I mean, Dennis, you just started playing Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
That is at its core a Dark
Oh
Souls-esque
yeah,
game.
definitely.
It doesn't play like a Dark Souls in the way
No.
that you're in like third person setting, facing these like weird monsters.
Yeah, but
you are,
it does
you are
get me
grinding.
frustrated for sure.
It frustrates you for sure.
Yeah.
You have the risk reward system of losing like your souls, or I can't
Mhm.
remember what they call them in
It-
Hollow
it-
Knight.
It's the currency. I think it's
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's whatever currency you use to upgrade yourself, buy new weapons. It's the same with Ashen. They don't call them souls, but it's some sort of other currency. But there's in Ashen you have like your same button layout, so you have like your light attack, your hard attack, your defense, everything, your rolls. So that one does feel more akin to Dark Souls than say Hollow Knight, but I think there are ways to scale it down, get people introduced to it, and that way they can slowly build up to a Dark Souls difficulty game if they want to.
That's fair. Dark Souls kids.
Them Dark Souls kids.
Yeah. Before we move on, there Matt is in the chat right now.
Oh, hey,
and
Matt.
when we were talking about Command and Conquer, he said, "I hate you. I hate you. There is no mobile Command and Conquer."
Oh,
There definitely is.
There is. I have it on my phone right now.
And to add more salt to it, he said, "Advanced Wars should become a watered down, stripped down mobile port."
Okay.
He's a reference Command and Conquer. So
yeah, that's okay. I mean, more mobile games for everyone like Matt.
Yeah. That he's playing like right now, even though he says all this stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, with that out of the way, you guys want to jump into the first topic?
Sure thing.
Sure.
So, like always, we have our quick news rundown. We have some trailers here. We have some quick news as well mixed in there. Dennis, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So, the fourth Avengers movie trailer has finally dropped. Dropped. Yes, dropped this past Friday. So we finally got an idea of what's going on, who survived the snap, and I think the part of the trailer I was like really happy for is just seeing Hawkeye, or like in his current outfit, he's called Ronin. Yeah. I really like it because I really like Hawkeye. I really like the focus on him in the Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. So I was always a fan of Hawkeye after that movie, and I just like to see him on screen because it's been a while. So I really like what's going on. It's just like I don't know what the end game of this movie is, but it's I just want to see the movie, to be honest. Like there's nothing really to say other than that.
Yeah.
They did a really good job with the trailer, I feel, in the way that they gave away just enough. And then, so if you're like done, you're sold in the movie, you're like, okay, like that was enough. I'm good. I can skip every other trailer after this. I can just jump into the movie. Whereas like, yeah, I don't know. I think I just watched it and I had the feelings, and I'm like, kind of sad that this whole thing is coming to an end. So the fact that they called it Endgame is a little like, oh, my heartstrings.
Yeah, it's like our season finale part 2. It's here.
Yeah,
it's almost here.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Like Steph said, it didn't give really anything away. I mean, we didn't even see Thanos. We saw his like arm. We saw the Thanos suit Scarecrow.
Yeah,
a rip from the comics.
Yeah, it was kind of more of a focus on the Avengers of who's alive and who's not, and like they show like some like hologram pictures of who was gone, and you saw Scott Lang, who, well, he showed up later. I just don't know if he exists, because it's kind of like, theories about like time travel. Was he in the quantum realm when the snap happened? I don't really know. It's because I mean I've seen some like behind the scene pictures of like Scott. He's like
at the Battle of New York.
Yeah, basically, it's just kind of weird. It's kind of out of place. It's weird to see Captain America in that horrible suit again.
The red and blue, like original suit.
Yeah, it was so bad.
I do prefer his Nomad suit.
Yeah, me too.
I think it didn't give too much away. I still go on record to say that they should have just done a trailer, showed old clips with like new voiceover, and just showed the Avengers Endgame logo. That would have driven people into the theaters regardless. So I really hope that they continue this. I know that they always have like a big push during like the Super Bowl and stuff. They'll have like TV spots. I really hope that they don't overdo it and show us too much.
They're gonna. It's gonna happen.
It comes out when?
So they pushed it up. It was originally supposed to be in May, but now it's April 26th, I'm pretty sure.
So they're basically doing a switch of like the Avengers Infinity War was supposed to come out in April and it was May, and now it's the reverse. No,
both movies got pushed forward. Pushed earlier.
Okay.
Because if you remember, Infinity War had that whole thing where Robert Downey Jr. sent out the tweet and he's like, "Oh, how about we release the movie a week ahead of time or something?" And then the Marvel Twitter responded like, "Sure thing," as if it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really stoked. I can't wait. And to kind of go off your question, Dennis, I do think that Ant-Man is the key to all this.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be some sort of time travel, quantum realm thing there. Like you said, there's if you scrub hard enough, there are like pre-production stills and in production behind the scenes photos as well that kind of give hints and everything to what's going on in this movie, so you can kind of piece together exactly what's going to happen. But the one thing I still that people don't remember often enough is that they went on record and said that at one point during this movie they're going to have every single Avenger on screen together fighting. And I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool because like I kind of because like after this movie's done, like there's gonna be other movies, and just like I'm wondering how they're gonna come back so they can do those movies in a way that makes sense, that it's just like not so convoluted.
Who's gonna die and who's gonna retire?
Exactly.
Yeah. Captain America, he's gone.
Iron Man, he's gone.
Yeah. We'll see.
Gone. Yeah.
We'll see. Other quick news to go over, Steph.
Yeah. Oh, everything's having really fun. So I think it was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Epic
sounds right.
Announced that they are launching their own game store, virtual game store, kind of as a competitor to Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And they came out swinging.
What a pickup!
They came out originally with just a bit of a dig and saying it's going to be was it 15? No, 2080.
I think it was 8812, wasn't it?
That's the revenue split.
Yeah, the revenue split. I think it was 1585. Oh, 88. Yeah, sorry, 88%. You're right.
Yeah.
Goes to developers. And that was a bit of a dig at Steam, which, because they definitely were like, oh, no tier, like everyone's 88%,
mm-hmm.
which was a huge dig at Steam. And we're talking about last week. And not only that, but they're like, also, every 2 weeks in 2019, we're going to have a free game.
That's nice.
Which is really cool. And not only that, but at the Game Awards, they came out with like, I think more than half the games there were just like, oh, we're launching on the Epic Game Store.
You just saw logo after every trailer.
Yeah, as the Game Awards went on, like when Steph and I were watching, that was kind of one of the stories of the Game Awards is Epic's like push to get to getting a lot of cool devs on their platform. And I don't know, like this it's not that it's gonna hurt Steam, it's just it's a minor scratch, but it could hurt them in the long run.
It'll be interesting to see how it grows, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
I think this is gonna really hurt Steam. I think they've been in a comfortable position for far too long, and for the first time in, I would say, like 10 years, they're in an office right now saying, what are we gonna do?
I'm hesitant just because there's been so many launchers, and it always comes down to the games behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people who've tried to move away from Steam, but the user base just doesn't follow.
Right.
But, we have seen this movement, like people going to Uplay or Origin, Battle.net. Like we've seen this like gradual, like people are trickling out. And it's obviously working for them because otherwise they'd be coming back. But these games are, no offense to them, they're fantastic games, but they're not quite, Origin or like Sims 4 level,
Right. And I just don't think that Epic is not necessarily saying we're going to take Steam down in one fell swoop. I think that they're thinking mindshare and people's time. All they have to do is say, well, we have Fortnite. Well, that's already taken people away from opening up Steam. Adding in like 1, 2, 3 games like sprinkled over a couple months, that's more time away from Steam, and I think that's how they plan on shipping away at them.
It totally comes down to their long-term support. And they came out so strong. This was a very strong, calculated move for them, where they were just like, here's, I mean, they could have come out at a better time. I think it was very smart for them to kind of pivot and take on those current news stories. But then to come out with all of these games, and they're pretty big games too. Some very notable titles in there for indies. And I think if there's anyone who's a little bit less attached to Steam, it would be people who are into indies, just because they're a little bit, like, generalizations. I think they tend to be a little bit more pro dev than the mainstream AAA audience. Yeah. So they might go, and they've got some fantastic names. Like, I know a bunch of people were just like, Hades, like, after Game Awards. And I think Ashen and something else launched that day too, right?
On the Epic Store?
Yeah.
Ashen didn't.
No.
Ashen was on Microsoft.
I have it now. So I actually got the Epic Game Store.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah. I have like a couple of nitpicks. Like, you can't wishlist items. They're either in your cart or they're in the store. There's no like in the middle, which is, if you're a Steam user, like, that's how I watch games before they launch. Or I'm just like, I don't have the money right now, but I want it later. Yeah. And then with Steam, you get notifications when things go on sale and all this other stuff, or when things launch. So I kind of missed that functionality. I don't know how the chat/party functionality works, because that's another thing that really keeps people in Steam. But they launched Subnautica for free, which a lot of people are excited about.
It's a big get, yeah.
And then Super Meat Boy is going free at the end of this month. Sorry, no, Ashen did launch on the Epic Store.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have like Hello Neighbor. They have Darksiders 3 is going up there.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. Satisfactory. Outer Wilds. Journey, which we've been watching, I think, since E3.
Yeah, so it's very interesting, because I don't think Journey has come out on a PC platform before.
No,
it's always been PlayStation with that game.
Yeah, PlayStation 3 and 4.
It's an interesting move. It's something that Steam definitely doesn't have, because, I mean, Journey was, like, I would say my personal game of the year. I think it was 2012.
Way back when.
Yeah. So yeah, like, I mean, like, throughout the, like, they had Hades as well. Supergiant Games' new game that's in early access, and they have like this whole sizzle reel. I'll just list them: like Outer Wilds, Maneater, Super Meat Boy Forever, World War Z, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek, Satisfactory, Genesis Alpha 1, and Journey. So it's like a big list. These are all like coming soon. So that's what they said at the Game Awards anyway. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, competition just breeds better products at the end of the day. So I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Me here? Me too.
Might be a new era for PC gaming, so it's exciting.
Could be. And I mean, I don't know. I keep looking at this and I keep thinking, well, if Epic grows out this platform like they've been able to do with Fortnite, will this kind of competition suddenly make like Valve and Valve start thinking about, well, are we going to have to do a Half-Life 3 at some point? Like, is that what's going to bring people back? Because if you think back, like, no one wanted Steam in the first place. It wasn't until like Half-Life 2 and like Counter-Strike that people were like, I got to download this just to play these games. Well, okay, I'll do it. And then people started, it grew over time. So I wonder if they're going to lean back on those games again.
All I can say is Steam better freaking keep its games, because I have a massive library there. They better not shut down.
No.
Like, I'm talking even like 10
risk of like shutting down.
Like, even like 10 years in the future, though. It's like, you can't. My library is massive.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be rough for people, for sure.
So please don't kill Steam. Just like force them to be better. That's all I ask.
Yeah, make it like the console market.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this?
Nope.
No? Cool. And then, yeah, our third piece of quick news here is going back to Marvel trailers. We got the second Captain Marvel trailer. I really enjoyed this one. I think it had a much more diverse range of like humor, action. It kind of gave a little bit of everything. I really do appreciate the fact that it opened up with more of that scene with Captain Marvel beating that old lady, because people were definitely confused after the first trailer, and they quickly answered the question. They caught people up. They're like, "Hey, listen, this is what's going on in this movie. You got Skrulls, you got Kree, everyone's in between. They can shapeshift." But yeah, otherwise, I thought it was a good trailer. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm like already sold on the movie. Like,
Yeah.
sure that it's a good trailer. I just like it's again with Avengers. Like there's like no other MC movie until March, so like I'm good on this for until it comes out. Like, just give me the movie already. I just want it.
Because I have like no prior knowledge of this character. I am like, okay, but I'm not like super hyped as I was with Endgame.
Sure.
But I'm probably still gonna go see it, and it still looks good. It's just like the hype, like everything else that went on this week, I completely forgot this even happened.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah, which is just hard when it's like this time of year and there's so many big news stories. Like, I kind of feel bad because people are like, "Oh, but it's not Avengers," and I think there was a movement last weekend where they were going to dislike a trailer if they put out the Captain Marvel trailer before Avengers. And it's just like, just because you're getting one doesn't mean you don't get the other.
Yeah, we've been in the middle of like this whole rumor mill going on about Captain Marvel's trailer, Avengers trailer, and then the new Spider-Man trailer. And dates are getting mixed up. Times that they're supposed to come out got mixed up and everything. So that's what kind of spawned this whole dumb movement online. Luckily, they were able to get both trailers out within the week. I know at one of the Comic-Cons down south.
I think it was called CCXP.
Something like that. They actually premiered the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, and everyone thought that it would go online afterwards, but that's not the case. It seems like there's going to be like a waiting period of like a week or two. So
yeah, I think it's coming on the 17th.
That's what I've heard too, 17th, 18th. But again, who knows? I mean, everyone was saying that the Avengers trailer was supposed to come out on Wednesday, but because of the passing of former President Bush, they pushed that. So who knows? Honestly, who cares? We got two really sweet trailers in 1 week. Like at the end of the week, I was like, why would we get a third one at this point? That seems too good to be true, but some people got it.
Yeah, I mean, we've been both the gaming and the movie and TV. We're like really getting spoiled, and I just feel for some people it's just not enough, and they don't realize how much work goes behind the scenes to get these things made. Like they just think it's like poof magic, and like 20 people are working on it or something. Like, the fact that, like, if you just think about the scale of all this, what Marvel has been able to do is just absolutely fantastic. The fact that they can get these movies out like so constantly, and it's such such a level that they come out. Just like big ups to them. It's not easy to do.
No, they know what they're doing, and they played very smart. That's really what it comes down to. Any other thoughts from Captain Marvel?
Nope.
Cool. So why don't we jump into our second topic?
Ho, ho, ho!
So our second topic of the week, as we mentioned before, the Game Awards aired on Thursday. I believe it was Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And this whole week has just gone by in a blur. So we got like a bunch of announcements out of it, and the awards themselves. I don't know if it's worth going into everything because there was a lot of both announcements and awards. Did you guys have like really standout moments from the show? I thought it was a great show overall. What do you guys think?
I thought it was really solid. I think they just get better and better every year. The amount of like cringy, like I think before they had some really, really like very obviously product placement.
Yeah.
And
Boy,
this,
the Schick Razor Robot Man wasn't.
Yeah, that was really bad.
It wasn't genuine.
and I know like the Game Awards is basically just one big advertisement,
Yeah.
but it felt less so this year. Like we're here for the games, just give us the games, and that's kind of what happened. And if you think about it, that's not an easy feat for such for a thing of that scale.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they celebrated like the diversity of games and the good of games and the people who are trying to do more than just games. Like they had the spotlight of all of these people who are doing all these fantastic things in the industry, including like able gamers, and there was the ones in the guy in Sudan and the lady from Pakistan, thank you. And they were just highlighting so much good. And you know, Sonic Fox
Killed it.
Good. That was good.
Killed it.
Like what a pure moment. Like the juxtaposition of Sonic Fox to the Twitch chat was just like, here is 2018 in a nutshell. Like, and yeah, I think there was so much going on, and it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, and so there was a lot of highlight and celebration of indies, which I felt way more so this year, and I appreciated that.
I think going into the Game Awards, I saw a lot of like announcements as far as like who's going to be there, like celebrity guests, and I was kind of like cringing if like they're because they were presenting some awards, and I thought it was going to be pretty cringy, and they did pretty good because you know they're actors or directors that they can do their job, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think the only like really cringe moment was the guy in the Crash Bandicoot costume. It was like I get what they were.
Yeah,
I get what they were going for, but it was kind of a little too much. I liked it, but not that much.
There was that, and then there was the dude who was like talking about his kid playing Fortnite.
Oh, I hate Joel McHale. I hate him, man.
Oh right, yeah.
That was the only other. Those were the two moments where I was like, "All right, okay." Not like, but still not nearly as bad as previous years. Like that's.
No, it was this one definitely was their best one so far. I think the only down point for me was Ninja.
Yeah, I mean, do you mean like the with the Muppet though?
No, I love Muppets.
The Muppet was good. Okay.
Yeah.
The fork knife.
Yeah, the fork knife, the shelfie.
The shelfie. Gotta mention that.
Yeah. Oh, you know that they were hoping that would be trending afterwards.
I mean, Jeff said that was a bucket list for him to get the Muppet on the show. So
who wouldn't want a Muppet? Yeah, that part was great. But I look at when Sonic Fox got his, so genuine. It was just so pure and everything. And then on the flip side, you got Ninja accepting his award, and it felt like someone wrote it for him.
Yeah, it kind of felt fake.
Again, I'm not passing judgment on the guy. He seems like a nice guy, but at the same time, like I don't know, something about that just did not seem like it came from the heart in comparison to Sonic Fox, and maybe that was just the fact that his acceptance speech was so powerful, and the mic drop at the very end was so good that coming off of that, it was like, oh well.
A part of me is just like I wonder if there's some kind of like dissociation for Ninja. Like it's just so like I never thought I would be here. It doesn't feel real to him.
Sure.
Again, I have no idea
That's
how
valid.
he feels.
Right.
But like everyone kind of processes these things differently.
Yeah.
And I mean, who else would it have gone to? Like, who else has done that much for gaming this year?
No, I give him all the respect and kudos for pushing games outside of their bubble and bringing them into the mainstream. It was just next to Sonic Fox's acceptance that I was like, You could have. I don't know. I don't know what he could have done differently. It just seemed. It. I don't know. It just seemed weird.
I'd also really like to give a shout out to the Celeste team, which was also a really
Mm.
fantastic acceptance speech.
I think a lot of them had great acceptance speeches. I mean, Corey Barlog from Sony Santa Monica, when he accepted his award for God of War, and at the end when the entire team came up for Game of the Year, again that was a great speech. I was really happy. As much as I love Red Dead Redemption, by like 2/3 of the way through, I was like, okay, guys, this is getting silly because they were sweeping
Yeah.
every award.
Dennis and I were
Um,
commenting that too. We're like, game of the year, oh, it's going to be Red Dead. Like, not no hate to the game. It was just
No.
like, it became so predictable. Like, oh, Red Dead's in the category, they're going to win.
Yeah.
And I think, like, personally, I would have given the award to other things in certain areas.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised that God of War managed to sweep it.
Yeah, I think it, like in my mind, I kind of deserved it because that's definitely a game that I mean, I think we can go into this like our personal picks,
Yeah.
but that is a special game that definitely deserved the Game Award. It didn't deserve like every award that Red
No.
Dead won, but
No.
it definitely deserved the top award for sure.
Again, I think both games are incredible milestones for what games are able to do and games are doing right now. I think both of those games are representations of this generation versus what we've seen since the beginning. I don't think that there were really any games that stuck out as like defining games, but I think these two are really big milestones. But at the same time, it broke me when Red Dead won the audio design award. I was like, the music's great in it, but the audio design in the game, there's nothing that stands out to me versus something like God of War, where I think back to like, Dennis, you might agree with me, but there's just this like sound that flows through the game every time you call back your axe. Like there's just little things in that game that really stuck out to me versus Red Dead Redemption, where yeah, you get ambient sound and all this, but it wasn't anything like fantastic.
Yeah, plus like just to mention like Marvel Spider-Man got nominated, didn't win anything. So
Same
I
with
would
Assassin's Creed.
yes, yeah, those two games definitely need like I'm not going to say the audio design of Marvel Spider-Man is the best of the year, but there's like some cool choices, especially with the swinging audio. It's a very nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, with Red Dead, major props for them for putting, like, I think every single NPC has a unique voice actor or something. Like, there was some silly amount of voice actors, which is pretty cool. Never been done before, I think. At least not on that scale.
Right.
Which is cool and unique. And then with Spider-Man, we had this really unique, like, as he's, like, swinging, he has, like, more, like, strained voice versus when he's just, like, sitting.
I will contest that like Red Dead does the exact same thing. If you're far away from it, he'll shout versus like talking normally. So there is a kind of similarity between those two.
Yeah, and that's really cool. And then I don't know enough about God of War, but it's just like these are subjective categories sometimes,
Yeah.
and it's just like, especially Game of the Year, like everyone's Game of the Year is going to be different.
Yeah.
And some people, like, story wise, like they're going to connect to some stories more than others, like yeah, again, there were some interesting things where I was like, I mean, I personally wouldn't have picked that, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was just exciting to see like games being celebrated, and it was a night of well, the actual Game Awards, it was a night of positivity and excitement, I think.
And yeah, so speaking of the games, were there any games that really stuck out to you in terms of like announcements or reveals?
Yeah, so I have like the whole list of like there was like 28 things shown, but minus some other stuff. So I think the one that stood out for me was Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey, because that the person behind that is the Assassin's Creed creator. I think he was like the last Assassin's Creed game he was a part of was the Brotherhood. So that was like 8 years ago. So
Wow,
it's just good to see him back. And a kind of funny thing, so his dev studio, Panache Digital Games, is developing it, and Private Division, which is a Take-Two subsidiary.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. So yeah, that's coming out 2019, PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It's like one of the games that really just stuck out to me.
Yeah.
I'm like scrolling through the list and I'm like, oh yeah, this happened. So Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
More Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think it said that the additional endings and stuff are also going to come to PC.
Yeah, they will.
Which I'm super excited for. I love that game. It's one of those things that I love just like give to people. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, just play the game. And then just watching people react to it as they figure out what the game is.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And then Among Trees, which had an absolutely gorgeous art style, didn't really give away too much what the game actually is. Which is like my biggest critique for some of the things, and we discussed this internally. Like for some of the trailers, they're like, "Oh, this is so beautiful," but like, what is the game? And I think that works for some people. Some people are going to be intrigued and they're going to like look up more, and others are like, "There's no hook for me because I don't know what it is." So therefore, next, thank you, next.
Right.
You know, and I'm trying to think what else. The new Far Cry New Dawn trailer.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. I don't like the Far Cry games, but I really like the idea of having like twin villains or female. Sure. That's awesome. I like that.
The entire premise of it just makes so much sense.
So like I haven't played Far Cry 3, so Far Cry 5. So this happened 17 years after that, right?
So the game, spoilers for Far Cry 5 if you haven't played it, play it. The game ends essentially with a nuke going off, and you're held up in a bunker, and the game kind of just ends.
So it goes like post-apocalyptic in this game anyway.
So as soon as, unfortunately, it started leaking out, and then they officially released the trailer like the day before. As soon as the nuke went off in the trailer, I was like, no way that they're doing this. When you think about it, it does make sense. They had Far Cry Primal to Far Cry 4, so why wouldn't they do a spin-off?
And they had Blood Dragon, I think, for 3, right?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, Blood Dragon for 3.
Yeah, but this is kind of the first spin-off that's actually tied to the...
connected.
Yeah, it's connected. It's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was really refreshing, this like post-apocalyptic, but it's really colorful. Yeah,
you have flowers growing, you have animals around. I do like the fact that they're makeshifting weapons. Like you saw them take like the buzzsaw and put it on like a crossbow kind of contraption. Like that's wicked in my opinion. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah, and then we had Hades, which is like, yes, chef's kiss all around. Sold. Just give me more Supergiant games. It's like they have nailed that formula and they just keep improving on it. And I was here for it, and we were all thirsting over Hades. So, we talked about that.
Crash Team Racing, guys, come on!
Oh yeah, we were all kind of like, it's happening.
Yep.
I mean, we all had an idea it was going to happen. It's just like this game comes out like less than 2 years after the Insane trilogy, so like it's coming June 21st.
Yeah.
Next year, so that's awesome.
Really awesome. They definitely looked at the Insane trilogy and they're like, we have to pump this out.
Oh yeah.
We have to ride the coattails off this nostalgic ride that everyone's having right now.
And I think it's good timing for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And it's refreshing that it's coming to every console day one instead of, them piecing it out here and there.
Yeah. We also had the Outer Worlds, which...
This is my standout, 100%.
Yeah.
So Borderlands plus Fallout is...
I can't wait.
Yeah.
This game looks awesome. I love the fact that it looks like it's based in like 1960s, but it's on like some other planet. You got spaceships, you got... Oh my God.
It was like this mix of BioShock, Fallout, and Borderlands. And I think that is a really cool formula.
Yeah. I think like you're taking 3 franchises that I hold near and dear to me in 3 like settings and putting them all together into like one game. And I'm looking at like Obsidian Games. They're obviously very known for RPGs. Now that they're on after this game, they're obviously under Microsoft. I can only imagine what like Phil Spencer and everyone was thinking when they were sitting there watching that trailer.
I was kind of shocked, to be honest. It's coming to PS4. I thought this was going to be like an Xbox One exclusive, but
no.
I assume that this game was developed before the deal happened. So
yeah, and
so this will be Obsidian's last PS4 game.
This is the last game that's going to be multi-platform. But Microsoft was really good to be like, hey, they have other commitments. We're not going to get in the way of them.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Which is good on them.
Yeah, no, and they seem really dev friendly. So, But I mean, it looks cool, and I love the subtle digs of like from the original creators of Fallout, and then also like at the end, I think they said something lines of like, "Okay, now don't break it."
Yeah.
Which is kind of like a dig at the community.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, I just look at this trailer, this game, and I'm like, with the kind of backing and marketing that Microsoft can provide them, like that's huge. Like you can't argue with that. It looks great.
We have Introspect in chat saying, "Am I the only one who thinks Outer Worlds looks kind of last gen graphically?" I mean, no more so than like Fallout 76.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the prettiest game. I don't know how far along in development this game is. It could still go through like polishes and whatnot. But
it's just like
it all comes down to like the gameplay.
Exactly.
I give it kind of pass. This is the last hurrah for Obsidian and in this gen. So because whatever they're working at after this is definitely going to be a next gen console.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, for me, it's about the gameplay. Like if it has way more interesting dialogue choices, like if you look at how original Fallout is for dialogue and how you can create your character, like it's so much more diverse than now. If it goes more like along that path, that's more interesting to me than if it was like super pretty.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally. We also got an announcement of Dauntless, which I have been watching for a really long time. It's kind of Monster Hunter-esque, and it's team-based, and you pull down like a large creature monster.
The comparison I got was Fortnite Monster Hunter, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I've been following them on Instagram for I don't know how long, years probably, and their creature design and illustrations are absolutely next level gorgeous. Nice. We also had The Last Campfire
from Hello
Games. It's been a while.
Yeah. And it was refreshing. It looked cute.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small game. I kind of like it. I mean, whatever you say about No Man's Sky, it eventually became a great game, but it's just good to see them going back to that kind of smaller game, because I think they said that this is a Hello Game short or something like that. It's a short game.
Right.
It probably is a really nice breath fresh of air for them, where they can just take a small chunk game, develop it in like a year or two and just bang it out.
Because I think they said that they want to continue to grow and evolve No Man's Sky. So this is probably like a side project that a handful of people have started working on. They're just going to throw it out there, see what people think, while the rest of the studio continues working on No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah. Then we had Atlas from the creators of Ark.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's going to be 1,200 times bigger than Ark. That's what I heard.
I'm sure it will be.
For me, it was just funny because it was pointed out in chat as we were watching, is like you could see the developer's face and he's just like, "Oh my god, this game is huge and I have to make it. Oh my god, I'm so scared."
This is again, we just talked about No Man's Sky. This act of over promising and letting people come up with like their own imagination of what a game could be and everything. Like, don't do that. That's bad news for everyone.
Apparently,
there's expectations. Yeah.
Apparently, the world can hold 40,000 players. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that's like my nightmare because games online are not fun.
I don't know what kind of futuristic server they're running on, but I'd love to see it work.
Yeah.
All the power to them.
Again, I'm interested to see how it works. But 40,000 people just sounds like 39,000 people that could grief me.
That too. Yeah.
So one other game that was kind of a shock to me, to be honest, is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Oh my
The
god.
Black
yeah.
Order.
Right out of the gate.
Because I love the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. I played a lot of them on PS2. I haven't really gone back in a while, but I kind of like this. It's a Nintendo Switch exclusive too. It's being developed by Team Ninja, so that's a good developer to have on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought this was in development whatsoever. No. So glad that they were able to keep that under wraps. Looks cool.
Then we had the Dragon Age trailer.
Yeah. More like a tease than anything.
Yeah.
So much so that they talked about Anthem and they're like, but wait, we have Dragon Age 4. That's how much confidence they have in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they're trying to take focus off Anthem a little.
That's kind of where I'm going with this. It doesn't bode well for Anthem, but I'm really excited for Dragon Age 4.
I don't like I want Anthem to do well. Like it looks good.
So do I. There are things in the tea leaves that I'm seeing, and I'm like, there's a huge but with this game.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing those same tea leaves, just wondering how it will run.
Yeah, this game really speaks to me in terms of like, hey, you're like an Iron Man that flies around. You get to have these like cool. You get to go in this cool world and see sweet things. I'm just waiting for that huge but to come out where it's like, but it doesn't run well. But the story is blocked off by a microtransaction or whatever it is. I'm just waiting for that to come out. But I really hope it doesn't.
Yeah, me too.
I really like what BioWare does. So
then we had Pathless, which was another indie title by Giant Squid, which again looked really good. I'm like, there's an eagle in it. Sold. What else did we have here?
Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, for Steph, that's I think she had to cover the screen for a lot of it or all of it.
That was a trailer, all right.
It was a trailer. Ed Boon
coming to Switch.
I think Ed Boon was coming out to present an award, and then you see somebody
trolled everyone.
Yeah,
not my game.
Maybe a game for you is Psychonauts 2. That looks really good.
Yeah.
Been a long time coming.
There's a lot of things to be sad about this game. Psychonauts 1 like set such a precedent for indies and is still like one of those classic, like if you talk about indie games, like you talk about Super Meat Boy, you talk about Psychonauts. And I think this game is going to be extremely burdened by its past.
Yeah. It's not going to live up. It's not going to live up to the first one.
And not even just that, but how they got here.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2 has been burdened by a lot of news stories over the years.
Yeah, because I think it was backed by Fig, right?
Well, it was kickstarted.
Well, yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of history with this game, and I really want it to be good and do well, despite everything.
Yeah.
It looked good. Like it was gorgeous. You could see why they needed the money.
Yeah, you do. And it's kind of weird that Starbreeze Studios is publishing, and there's been something in the news about them recently, so it's kind of bad timing. But I'm still a little excited.
I want it to do well. I really do. I want it to be good. Then we had Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, it looks good.
The demo. I downloaded it.
Yeah.
Should play it today.
I can't even play it, so.
And then I don't know. There's a little Smash.
Oh, just before that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Rage. It's not. It's just something to add that Rage 2 got a release date for May 14th. So.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's
a good release date.
Now we can go into Smash.
Okay. Let's talk about Smash, guys. It being Smash Weekend and all. Steph.
You go, Steph.
I had some feelings. I sent my reaction to like some work people, and they're just like, "Holy smokes! What a shocker!" Yeah, Joker was revealed for Smash, and nobody knew. So, what a shocker! And for me, it's funny because I'm a terrible person. I never finished Persona 5 because of external reasons. And but I know I've been getting to know this fandom and I knew how much it meant to them. But just because like I knew how much it's gonna mean to the team and like everything else, like it's just such a big thing. And for me it's really exciting because Smash Brothers is something I grew up playing like since N64. And you think of like all those like tournaments you did in like middle school and like all these things. Like Smash Bros. Has been part of my life for so long. The fact that like I'm even remotely connected to it is the coolest feeling ever. Like that's so hard to describe to people and just be like, oh my god, like it's just way too cool.
Yeah, and I kind of think it's like a sign of what's to come for what characters are exactly coming to the Fire Pass. It's going to be characters who traditionally are not connected to Nintendo, and maybe they are. Because, like, people are going to throw out that Banjo-Kazooie for sure.
Holding on to that.
Yeah.
For dear
I mean,
life.
you got 4 more spots, so 4 more chances.
And it's just really big news because it's the first time that Persona has been a part of Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
They've had Shin Megami Tensei from Atlas on 3DS, but
and they kind of had those like chibi Persona games for 3DS, but yeah, those. And there hasn't really been like a traditional Persona game on a Nintendo platform as far as like 3, 4, 5 that generation.
Right.
Anyway, and this is kind of a sign that I'm just connecting the dots. Maybe Persona 5 is coming to the Switch down the line.
You have to assume because if they're gonna think of it this way, if someone's buying a Switch and only owning a Switch, they're looking at this character and be like, I don't know who this is, so why wouldn't you put the game on there, introduce the character?
So I don't know how real these things are. I didn't do like a whole lot of research, but apparently Sakurai is a huge fan of Persona,
right?
And he this is all based of like fan speculation. I have not reference checked these. Apparently he said that the Persona 5 UI is like the ideal, like it's the best thing ever, and he tried to emulate that in the new Smash. Like he took inspirations from Persona and brought it into the new Smash games.
Cool.
And then he apparently also attended the Persona Live concert.
Oh,
so
nice.
A part of me is just thinking like, oh, maybe he's just like, not like selfish for Sakurai, but like kind of a like, I really love this game and I really want it to be a part of our thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was such a good shocker, and then props because no one saw that. He didn't see this coming. For all the Persona fans out there, like no one did see it coming, and the fact that they managed to keep this under wraps really talks to just like what a great job they did.
Well, they tempered a lot of people's expectations with Piranha Plant.
Yeah.
I mean, like, as cool of a character as he potentially can be, I feel like everyone's expectations were like, okay, well, maybe they'll just take the easy way out. They'll do like Koopa Trooper or something like that, like something, fans of Nintendo can easily hold on to. And then this came out of nowhere. I don't see a lot of people talking about the fact that now Joker's going to get his own amiibo. Like, that's cool.
It'll be the only amiibo I own. Also in Japan they have like physical DLC packs, and it comes with the envelope with the little stamp on it.
Oh, that's wicked.
Nice.
Which is like, oh my god, I need it. But yeah, I mean, it's become my favorite thing to like watch people reacting to that announcement, and it just seems to like overshadow everything else, which is cool because like Atlas traditionally has not been huge. Sure. And Persona 5 was really their first like almost mainstream game, and it's just been really fun watching the fans' reactions. Like, I think it was one of the guys from Kind of Funny. He like got up, talked, like threw off his headphones.
And he threw his headphones.
Yeah.
And it hit
So
a
good.
beer that killed like someone's laptop.
Oh,
And then
man.
there's been like the New York Nintendo store.
Those are always so much fun to watch.
It's been so great, and I'm so excited to even be like a teensy small part of that in future. So yeah, what a and then I was just like in shook for the rest of the thing. I was like, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, but I'm kind of sad that there was no announced date.
Yeah. I mean, like all these like DLC, like they're supposed to be like all released by February of 2020.
So you can kind of assume that that one will come out in March,
maybe
ish.
Yeah, they could release one every quarter.
Yeah. And it was just really cool because that like really dominated the conversation. I went to like a party, a Christmas party at local devs on Friday, and people were talking about it, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm so excited to see people so excited about this announcement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely got people that I didn't think like Persona.
They came out the woodworks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was like, okay, there are a lot more of you guys than I thought there were. All the power to you.
Yeah. And then it just made me feel really guilty and like I need to go play some Persona 5.
Any other thoughts on the Game Awards, kids?
No, good show.
Yeah. Solid show. Cool. Let's move into our third topic.
So after the news of the PSX being canceled, some YouTubers, influencers, I don't know, streamers, I don't know how you want to classify them, but this group called Kind of Funny Games, they decided that they wanted to do a showcase. And that happened on Saturday, yesterday, as we're live here. And it was a fantastic show that just really came out. And they were saying like, oh, they loved how the PSX came right after the Game Awards and highlighted more of the developers, the people behind the games and indie titles. And they wanted to continue that like as a continued celebration of games. And I think they managed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they definitely did.
Yeah.
All 69 minutes of it.
Yeah. And I don't know, what did you guys think? I think considering it was their first one, they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they really did. Like, I remember hearing their expectation was they were probably going to get like 15 minutes of announcement. And like, I mean, there's literally almost 70 announcements.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I kind of compare it like, this show is like, it's a show of a little amount of games I know and a lot of games I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And
there was like a lot, like there's a few here I'm like, that's on my wish list now. I want to play that now.
Right.
Yeah.
And all these games like give you like a preview into like the first 3 months at least. There's a lot of games coming out in the first 3 months of 2019, and oh boy, there are a lot.
Yeah, I thought they were a diverse lineup of games, something to speak to every kind of player, no matter what your preferences are. I thought they were all really sweet, endearing indie games. I thought the pace was really good.
Yep.
It was.
Dennis brought up like it was 69 minutes. It didn't feel like that. It felt like it was rapid pace. I do appreciate the fact that it was like a pre-produced Nintendo indie kind of style of a showcase. So it was just trailer, and then they'd have like 30 seconds of banter in between more trailers. And yeah, in comparison to the Game Awards, where it was just, for the most part, AAA games, it was really nice to have a showcase dedicated towards indie games.
And I just kind of appreciate that, having this at 1 p.m. It was a perfect time.
Oh my God, it was awesome.
Because the Game Awards goes really long and really late. I don't like that sometimes. That's why I kind of appreciate PlayStation not being at E3. Don't have to stay up until like 9 p.m. again.
Oh my God, yeah.
So yeah, they really did a good job. I really do hope they do another one, because this was a great platform for them.
It was so great. And then if you think about it from a developer standpoint, they got their games in front of 21,000 people. Mm-hmm. Which is fantastic. I think there was a lot of people who were introduced to a lot of games that night. They were like, "Oh, I've never heard of this before, but I'm glad it was introduced to me." And I know from our standpoint, we had 3 games showcased that day, and one of which is a little bit more mainstream than the others. But or I guess 2 of them. So we had A Fold Apart,
Right.
which is a really sweet puzzle game about long distance relationships, and it kind of has that like tug on your heartstrings. And they're also local developers. They're here from Toronto. Actually, there was a lot of Canadian representation that night.
There was.
I was going, oh yeah, I know them, and I know them. We had Boyfriend Dungeon, who are out in Montreal, and we had some people out in Vancouver. And yeah, we also had the Conan reveal.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Which I'm excited to see more of.
There was also one developer from Saskatchewan. I forget what the game. I think it was like a Noodle Cake Studios or something like that. It was the one with the crazy like golf fighting. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and the 2D Rocket League game. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down a ton of games that night, and I was just like, I still missed them because I was looking down, writing something down, or I was like partially working that time, so I was like in like work chats and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I just missed a thing. It looked really cool, but I missed the name, like, so I have to go back and like rewatch it all. I think it was so good, and again, shameless plugging, but Judgment, I'm really excited for that game.
Yeah, I think that just speaks volumes that we went through the entire run of games, and other than A Fold Apart, which we mentioned before, Judgment, and then they ended off with The Walking Dead. Other than those 3 games, I had not heard about a single one, but now I do know of them.
Same.
I can keep an eye.
And it's kind of upsetting for me because like I used to be so much into like the indie game scene. Like and then we used to have co-optional podcasts which would do the release lists and stuff. And some of these I knew of, and I was kind of sad that like a lot of these look really good and I hadn't heard of them. I was like thankful for this showcase because I'm like, oh, thank you for introducing me to these games. Like I wrote down Tunghi, Vane, Away, Journey to the Unexpected, which looked really good and right up my alley. Long Gone Days, Fae Tactics, and Operantia. And those are just the ones I didn't know about. Then we had like Boyfriend Dungeon. We had Jenny LeClue, which was like super hype for me because that game's been on my wish list for like 3 or 4 years now. Like it's been there for a long time. Like yeah, there was so much, and it was very good. And like you said, there was a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, there was a little something. Like I'm a fan of Greg Miller, and just seeing the Guacamelee to shirtless Arachnid Man skin is awesome because that
was really cool.
And also, you know how you transform into chicken in that game?
Yeah.
He transforms into his dog Portillo. That is really so cool. Cute. It's just like it's this free thing that you can unlock on PS4 and Steam. I think you can do it on Nintendo Switch and Xbox One later.
They said once it comes out.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like one like moment I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah,
they kind of got away of not saying Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but they said Spider-Man.
Yeah, everyone in the know knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm just really impressed. Like they even managed to get like the Messenger free DLC, an expansion, whatever you want to call it. They had the Danganronpa trilogy coming to PS4. Like to be perfectly honest, my expectations were fairly low just because I've heard of Kind of Funny, but I don't really follow them. And I was like, yeah, it'll be like fun and cool. But then the fact that so many people came into this like Funcom and Sega, it's just really cool. I'm super excited for them.
They came out for the community, and the community reciprocated and came out for them to support this initiative, and I think it paid off for everyone involved.
Yeah, and I kind of like how they ended it too, because like they have all these indie games, and then they just have like 2 blow of announcements that, personally, I'm a fan of those 2 games, and it's just like It's great to see confirmations on these on when these games are coming out, and you know, Judgment is definitely that. Is kind of like shocking for me to see like that there's actually going to be an English dubcast, because this is kind of a new slate. It's kind of set in Yakuza, but it's not kind of. I don't know. So I think I kind of want to like play that game with the English dub, because because like I'm just, like I like the subtitle for the Japanese cast is great. They're really great at what they do, but I just kind of hate reading the subtitles, to be honest.
I mean, they've got a really solid cast.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I am constantly just floored by them. If you look at how many games have been launched, I just like, do they sleep? Like, I don't know how they just don't live out of those offices. Like, what if we had this year alone? Like, they brought Yakuza
6 and Kiwami 2.
Kiwami 2, and they also brought, I think, Yakuza 0 to PC.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah.
And then we had Fist of the North Star. We've had Valkyria Chronicles. We had Persona Dancing.
Wow.
We've had 2 Point Hospital. We've had Fantasy Stars coming to Switch on December 13th.
Yep.
And like, those are just since I've been there.
It's a long list of games.
It is.
Like,
it's been a stellar year for Sega, to be honest. I like only Yakuza has like really been on my purview, but when you list all those games, wow, it's been like a really great year for Sega.
Well, they're a really good front runner for like the AA space, which is which shrunk and then has slowly started coming back. So good for them.
Yeah, and it's been fun, and I am super excited to learn more and promote the heck out
Any
of this
other
game.
thoughts for the showcase?
It was great. That's all that needs to be said.
Please, more.
Yeah, do it again. Please, kind of funny.
Do it again. Sweet. So let's jump into our final topic. Dennis, take us home.
Yes. So these are the video game releases for December 10th to the 14th. So before I jump in, there's one thing I want to mention that came out last week on December 7th. Santa Tracker app came to Nintendo Switch. So if you want to track Santa, what he's doing before the big day, you can get that up on Nintendo Switch. One of like 2 apps. I think there's like YouTube and Santa Tracker. Well, the ones I know anyway. So to jump into the actual release dates, starting on December 10th, Dusk is coming to PC, and Guacamelee 2 is coming to Nintendo Switch. On to December 11th, Kingdom 2 Crowns is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Desert Child is coming to PC, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Double Switch 25th Anniversary is coming to PC and PS4. Coming to PS Vita is Dragonfly Chronicles. Coming to PC only is Ancient Frontiers Steel Shadows and Tiny Bird Garden Deluxe. Coming to PS4 is Earth Defense Force 5, Gungrave VR UN, Sun, Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Deluxius Edition.
That's a really lovely game. I don't know. I have it on PC, and it's literally like a tabletop game in a game. It's really cute and fun.
Cool.
That's nice. Also, The Video Kid, Smash Hit Plunder, Idol Champions of the Forgotten Realms, Red Matter, and Warbot. Coming to Nintendo Switch only is Everspace Stellar Edition and Solar Flux. On to December 12th, Insurgency, Sandstorm, and Super Animal Battle Royale are both coming to PC. Super Animal Royale is coming to Steam Early Access, though. Coming to PS4 is Richie's Plank Experience, and coming to Xbox One is Desert Child. On to December 13th is Gris, coming to PC and Nintendo Switch. Coming to PS4 is Atari Flashback Classics Volume 3. Coming to PS Vita only is Atari Flashback Classics and Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition.
Vita still lives.
Yeah, they got 3 games this week. Coming to PC only is Daisy 2084 It's the 1.0 launch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2084 via Steam Early Access. Atlas, which we mentioned earlier, is coming PC via Steam Early Access. Lucius 3 and Book of Demons.
Yeah, Book of Demons. If you like the original Diablo, this is kind of a ode to the original Diablo.
Hell yeah.
And it's in this really cute paper book style, like kind of pop-up book style.
Coming to Nintendo Switch only is Omen Sight Definitive Edition.
Also a really good game.
Hunter's Legacy Perfect Edition. Starman, Sega Ages Phantasy Star, Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures, Oxyjet, Dragon Marked for Death, Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Deluxious Edition, Blue Rider, All Might Tree, The Last Dreamer, Battle Princess Madeline, and Big Bash Boom. And finally, coming December 14th is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One is Big Crown Showdown. Coming to PC and Xbox One is Below.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's been like 6 years.
Oh, it's been that long? Wow.
It got announced as supposedly like a launch title for the Xbox One.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
A real long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long wait. Coming to PS4 only is Escape Game Aloha, Kingmaker Rise of the Throne, Bibi Bloxburg, Big Broom Race 3, Bibi and Tina, Adventures with Horses, and Borderlands 2 VR.
Yeah, actually looks pretty cool.
Are Bibi and Tina and Bibi Bloxburg related?
They're two separate games, apparently.
Oh, they run out of names. Okay.
Yeah. It's just a coincidence.
Sure.
Well, it wasn't a coincidence that I put them together. So that was intentional.
Okay.
But I keep getting ads for Borderlands 2 VR.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. They're working.
Coming to Xbox One only is Rally Racers and Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Deluxious Edition. And finally, coming to Nintendo Switch only is Lazy Galaxy, Rebel Story, and Peace, Death, Complete Edition. And those are the video game releases of the week. But don't forget that available on mobile.
It's available right now, actually.
Yeah, right now.
Into your app store, download it.
Yeah, play it.
We're not being sponsored or anything. We just
we just love
it's a really
the game.
good game. Yeah.
We love the game.
I think all of us are gonna put it as our game of the year. So
yeah,
check it out. Cool. Thanks, Dennis. That about wraps up this episode. Thank you all for joining us. Guys, where can people find you online?
Yeah, Dennis, where can they find you?
Okay, you can find me at HunterSlasher13 on Twitter. And that's where you can find me when my camera doesn't freeze.
Sweet.
You can find me and this amazing Christmas sweater.
That is an amazing Christmas sweater.
On basically everywhere, but most active on Twitter as at Maple Thistles. And yeah.
Cool. And you can find me on Twitter at svigvari. Just so you guys know, we're also collectively on Twitter as well at Canadian Geek CST. So you can shoot us a message, shoot us any questions of the week. We'd really appreciate that. And like we said before, if you can leave us a review, share us anywhere you see fit, please do so. It really helps out. So yeah, that about wraps up for today. Please tune in next week, which will be our final live episode before we go on holidays, and then we'll have some sort of supplementary episode, I hope, just to kind of get us through the hiatus. So tune in next week. We'll be live 11 a.m. on Twitch and Twitter. Steph will be there giving dabs. And Dennis will be ranting and raving either about Yakuza or pineapple pizza on the next Canadian Geekcast.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.